If you like the old Himalayan, the new 450 Himalayan might not be as good for you as the old one was. The old one had bags of low-down torque, which made easy work of all but the gnarliest green lanes in the hands of an even semi-competent rider. It might not be a bike to win the Dakar, but it was hard to stall and made for a relaxing ride. The new bike has a much revier engine, and the power is made higher up the rev range, which means that the rider needs to choose the right gear much more than they would with the original longer stroke air-cooled Himalayan motor. You will need to rev the engine to get the most from it, and when you do, you start to feel a tingle that was always missing with the original. The new bike is better than the old Himalayan in many ways, but just make sure they are the actual ways that you want. The new ride-by-wire throttle, rather than being crisp and snatchy, is laggy and slow to respond. There is a big dead zone before the throttle picks up, and it makes snappy acceleration difficult. On a highway passing a truck, that isn't great, but lifting the front wheel over rocks on a green lane is hard too. Then we have some problems with the dash readings, or possibly more. There is a random error message that tells you to turn off the ignition and restart. Then we get the front wheel speed sensor fail message, which again requires a restart. These two messages aren't such an issue and are reset by the ignition switch, but one that is more concerning is the message that tells you that the bike is overheating and to stop immediately. Obviously, this isn't something you ever want to see. Reportedly, it can be fans running slow, low coolant levels from the factory, and problems with the sensors. But when all these problems mean a trip back to the dealer, that isn't good at all. Battery charge level sensor failure is another problem that's come up. The bike tells you that the battery charge level's low and you should stop and charge it. But if the bike is running, it should always be charging. That problem seems associated with irregular use, but shows earth leakage somewhere in the electronic circuit. This is the first time Royal Enfield have built a bike with such a complex interface with electronic controls, so I guess there would always be bugs. However, these should have been ironed out, because they did have a long development time with this bike.